And among the lifestyle, one stress is an important factor. Again, about 50% of the women always face different kinds of the stress, and this stress can be reduced by means of the massage or abhyanga. Again, abhyanga here, especially if we think about during the pregnancy, it should not be a hard massage. It can be a light massage and self massage ideally. Like even in Ayurveda, wherever we speak about abhyanga in Dinacharya Vidhi or the daily regimen, then always it is a self massage. So this abhyanga, if one does, then it reduces the anxiety as well as the body pain. Many a times lady experiences, especially during the last trimester. So this will be helpful, and at the same time, especially during the last trimester, if the lady practices abhyanga and even the breast massage if it is done, then it further influences the secretion of the milk after the delivery, because once the stimulation of the breast by the slight massage will be quite helpful for enhancing the breast milk in the future coming time. So especially in the last trimester, one has to do the massage, light massage. And again, for abhyanga, different kinds of the oils can be used. It can be simple oils that are available at home, maybe it is a coconut oil or the mustard oil or the sesame oil, like that any kinds of the oil that is possible can be used. But again, if a affordable person is there, then the Kshirabala Taila, Narayana Taila, such kinds of the oil can also be used for reducing the Vata, especially during the last trimester. And again, it has the positive impact also. It cures the numbness and pain or any other problems, and it also brings about a very good complexion in the and enhances the sleep, especially during the last trimester. Many a times due to the stress as well as due to the increase of the pressure over the abdomen, the lady is not able to sleep well. So doing of abhyanga will be helpful for bringing about the good sleep, and again it will be nourishing the body also. And sometimes it may be so that there is no time for practicing the abhyanga daily. So in that case, one can opt for the padabhyanga also, padabhyanga or the foot massage, because again foot massage is quite relaxing, and as the pregnancy advances, many a times the pregnant lady experiences pain in the feet. Muscle cramps also is one of the common complaints. So massage with the oil to the foot, including the entire lower extremity, is going to benefit, and that can be practiced in a much shorter duration of time, and that can save the time of an individual if one is quite busy with the different kinds of the works. And many a times the varicosities develop. So if one does this, the blood circulation enhances. At the same time, it will be helpful in reducing the edema as well as helpful in enhancing the sleep. Also, it improves the vision and stiffness of the foot. And head massage can also be practiced because it is relaxing, and at the same time many a times it so happens the additional burden of the pregnancy many a times leads to the loss of hair. So this particular head massage with the oil brings about the reduction of the stress, at the same time reduces the hair fall as well as graying of hair. So this can be practiced regularly. And again, one more problem during the entire pregnancy period is the oral hygiene, and many a times it so happens due to the enhanced calcium requirement in an individual, the caries teeth develop during the pregnancy. So if one does the gargling with the oil, that is Tila Taila. The gargling with the Tila Taila will be helpful to maintain the oral hygiene, as well as it will be helpful in strengthening the as well as the jaw, and takes away bad breath and also enhances the nourishment. So, together this gargling of the mouth with the sesame oil or the Tila Taila will be very good for the pregnant lady. Again, how much time it has to be retained? Till the entire mouth gets filled with this oil, and the person is not able to retain it anymore, and again sometimes even the watering of the eyes starts. Till that time one has to retain the oil in the mouth, and again there are two procedures, one is Kavala and the Gandusha. In the Kavala, the oil is filled so that we can move the oil in the mouth, but in the Gandusha the oil is filled to entirely in the mouth, so that we are not able to move the oil in the mouth. So, both the things are advocated as per Ayurveda. Any one of the things can be practiced. So, this nourishes the face, improves the taste, and prevents the cracking of the lips, decay of the teeth, and tingling sensation of the teeth. So, these are all good for the pregnancy. And again, while for our physical and mental health, the exercise is one of the good options that has to be always done regularly. And in Ayurveda also, Vyayama has been advocated as a daily regimen, and during the pregnancy also it has to be done regularly. And again, the doing of exercise daily enhances the feel good hormone or the endorphins. Always one has to feel good during the entire period of the pregnancy for the baby also, because always mental health of the lady influences health of the baby also. So, always one has to regularly practice the exercise. Again, heavy exercise is contraindicated. Whatever is light exercise in the form of Chankramana. Chankramana nati deha pida karam bhavet, it has been mentioned. So, na ati deha pida karam. So, it does not trouble the body much, it is only walking bit distance. So, that is one of the things. Apart from that, there are yogic practices that are directly having the impact on both physical as well as the mental health of the individual. Many of the researchers have already proven that the yogic practices are very good for the healthy as well as the pregnant ladies. So, these practices can be practiced. Again, the trimester wise, that is first 3 months different set of exercises, next second trimester different set of the asanas, and in the third trimester different sets of the asanas have to be practiced. Again, if we think about the first trimester, then joint movement exercises can be practiced in the form of ankle rotation, knee rotation, hip rotation, wrist rotation, elbow, shoulder, neck. All the joints should be activated so that the blood circulation is increased and the lady remains active. Followed by that, these are the preparatory practices, joint movement exercises. After coming on to the main yogic practices, always like integrated yogic practices are the best options, which include the set of preparatory exercise, preparatory things, that is joint movement exercises, then asanas, pranayamas, and the meditative practices. So, together integratedly they bring about the positive changes in the lady. So, here the asanas, especially the hip expanders, that is wherein the distance between the two legs is made and there is stretching of the perineum. This stretching of the perineum always brings about the elasticity of the perineum and will be helpful for the easy delivery in the due course of time, and there will not be any perineal tears, and at the same time the delivery happens very fast and without much of the complications. So, here the hip openers like Virabhadrasana, Hasta Utthanasana, Tadasana, Kati Chakrasana, Trikonasana, Vajrasana, in the sitting posture, Vajrasana, Bhadrasana, Titili Asana, Malasana, Marjari Asana and Shavasana. Among the pranayamas, Nadi Shodhana pranayama, Anuloma Viloma pranayama, Brahmari pranayama and Shitkari pranayama are beneficial. And among the dhyana, Omkara dhyana is one of the simplest ones. Again in the pranayamas, like the abdominal pranayama should be avoided, like Bhastrika or even the Kapalabhati should be avoided because it enhances the pressure over the abdomen, which is not good for the pregnant lady. So these things should be avoided. Further, during the second trimester, abdominal girth increases, so posture should be practiced with more of the caution and modifications. Again, the joint movement exercises are common. And again, in case of Tadasana, if it is difficult to balance, then one can go near the wall and practice the thing. And again, Kati Chakrasana or sideward bends should be done only to their extent, like ideal, attaining an ideal posture is not necessary, only one has to as much as they can do to the sidewards. And again, especially the Bhadrasana, Titili Asana and Malasana, these are quite beneficial because they are exercising the perineum and they are quite helpful for the lady. And Marjari Asana is, even though it is a forward bending asana, it is making a curvature in the back, and this helps to reduce the backache. Usually as the pregnancy advances, the lady experiences backache. So Marjari Asana is very good for the backaches, that is during the pregnancy. And again, practice of Shavasana, especially in the end of the second trimester and in the third trimester. In many a times it becomes difficult to lie down in the supine position for a longer duration because the weight of the fetus presses over the aorta, and for that reason the lady feels discomfort while she lie down on the back. So the Matsya Kridasana can be practiced, wherein Matsya Kridasana, the slight bending towards the left side and the leg can be supported with a pillow. And then among the pranayama, again same one, that is Anuloma Viloma pranayama or Nadi Shodhana pranayama and Brahmari pranayama, that is going to bring lot of relaxation. And Sitkari pranayama again is one among the cooling pranayamas, especially that hyperacidity usually that is caused during the end of the second trimester as well as during the third trimester, that is counteracted. So that is very good. And dhyana should be practiced entire course of the pregnancy. Again, during the third trimester, the asanas with a sideward twist can be avoided, and again the standing postures should be practiced with heels near to the wall, and again any of the giddiness is there, we can avoid the standing practices, whereas pranayamas can be practiced very well. And again in the sitting practices, especially the hip openers like the Titili Asana and Bhadrasana and Malasana, all these things can be continued till the end if one is healthy. These are the pictures of different asanas, wherein Virabhadrasana has been shown, Malasana or Malasana, and Upavishta Konasana or Bhadrasana and Titili Asana, Marjari Asana, and with the props it has been shown. Like this, different kinds of the positions can be practiced again as per one's ability. Like always in the yoga therapy, it is advocated that it has to be like according to one's capacity. It should never be forcibly done for attainment of the perfect posture. And different rejuvenating herbs can also be used. Again, Shatavari is one among the best herbs during the entire period of pregnancy, and Bala can be used, Guduchi, Ashwagandha, Yashti Madhu,